Hey, Flimsy Lunch Tray, and today we're going to be looking at the Tier 9 Premium right now, well, will be, European Destroyer, the Friesland. Since I believe it's in, was it 10.6? That Friesland's going to be removed, if my memory is serving correctly. I thought I should go ahead and feature a battle on her, as you can get her either in the Premium Shop or in the tech tree for European for 1 million free experience. And she's a really good destroyer, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that throughout this battle. But I'm also going to do a commander or upgrading commander video for the Friesland tomorrow, being the traditional Saturday videos. In this battle, we find ourselves on Sleeping Giant. I'm with one of my clanmates, Hello Everybody 5, who's in the Kitakaze. And this is when I still, I still am relatively new to Friesland. But you can see that I don't actually have a 10-point commander on her because my concealment is over 7.14 without a 10-point commander. Now I do go ahead and pop my AA here. And one of the reasons why I do that is because the Friesland is a destroyer with good AA. That's also partially sort of for balancing purposes because the Friesland was the only destroyer in the game without torpedoes. And so we get to use the AA to our advantage. We get the defensive AA consumable, and I intentionally ground here to avoid taking those rockets. And the CV player is going to call back his planes. And I kind of popped the hydroacoustic switch there by accident. So let's talk about Friesland for a minute as we move up to Charlie Cap. So, Friesland, Tier 9 Destroyer. You get smoke. It's actually a longer action time than the American smoke screen for 30 seconds. The Friesland is over 30 seconds. I want to say, is it 33, maybe a little more? I can't recall, but we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. You get the defensive AA consumable, and you get hydroacoustic search, which with a commander with more kitted out skills, you can get the hydroacoustic search to last for quite some time, more than just the minute and a half that I currently have it as, because this commander is like a 6-point commander, but I have him more than a 10-point now. So with the Friesland, you have access to both high explosive, armor piercing, with the 6-kilometer AA range. So with Friesland, she's a bit of she's different in the sense that, I mean, mainly as a destroyer, she doesn't have torpedoes, so you have to play a little bit differently. Also for the fact that her concealment is not best in tier for Tier 9. Without the concealment expert, I think technically it shows on screen, I think 7.2, but it's 7.14. So that's definitely, that puts you at a disadvantage when you don't have a 10-point commander, but once you put a 10-point commander, if you bring it down to 6.4. So, and that is because Friesland is a gunboat destroyer. She's not a torpedo destroyer, she's not a hybrid, she's just a straight up gunboat destroyer. So your main goal really is to you get to cover other ships with your AA, but your primary objective is to destroy and kill enemy destroyers. And you get to use the hydroacoustic search, which really works well to your advantage in dealing with enemy ships. So that definitely comes in handy and helps, because your hydroacoustic search range for ships is 5 kilometers, and I think torpedo detection is like 3 kilometers. Maybe it's 3.5, but I think it's 3. As you can see, we kind of drift here into range on this enemy gearing. With the Friesland, as the carrier is coming back in on us again, talk a little bit more about the ship, is you have to be able to distance yourself well, because basically battleships and cruisers can really bully you because they know they can run up on you because you don't have torpedoes. If players are aware, because some players don't know that Friesland doesn't have torpedoes. We have the new British tier 10 destroyer, the Druid, coming in, doesn't have torpedoes either. That's a different ship. But you get a really high damage per minute, or fast reload time. You can see on these main guns what it's... I'm trying to see from the timer. Is it just over 1.5? Something like that. 2 turrets. So you can see with this enemy ship here, we're just able to put a lot of the Puerto Rico. We're able to put a lot of concentrated fire out, trying to set fires with our shells. And of course, we're trying to aim for that superstructure as we get a fire set there. So when you're in a smoke screen, it works really well. One, your ally friendly ships can use it, such as hello everybody with me. We have the hydroacoustic search, so you can, you know, not take enemy just torpedoes. But you're really kind of annoying. You're kind of like a little cancer to a certain extent. So what's nice, because you have decent gun range too, that you can even extend out further with the upgrades and the commander skills, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But when you position yourself well, you know, you're trying to be close to these contested areas. But when you smoke up and you have multiple targets to shoot at, you know, so we were shooting at the Gearing, then we were shooting at the Puerto Rico, now we're shooting at this enemy Massachusetts. Trying to get this enemy Puerto Rico taken out. He's just at our range. And you can just really, really annoy targets. But with your HE is really good. Now, when you have good broadside target, your armor piercing is also well, as you can see, just switched to there. When you're focusing on the superstructures, really good. The armor piercing really works well against something like Kansas, Minnesota, Vermont, just because they're so big and they just seem to avoid armor piercing really well. So that's really nice. So you can really, any enemy destroyer that you engage with, you'll definitely give them a run for the money. Now, with the turret setup layout on the Friesland, you have one on the front and then you have one on the rear section. So you've got a show side. The turrets do rotate 360 degrees, so that's nice. And they have relatively good firing angles. It's not the worst. But you might be kind of at a disadvantage, like you say, you're going up something the Gearing, which does have a longer reload time with you, but two of the 3 front turrets located on the bow. So kind of nose in some, you know, the Druid, which is like a mini Minotaur. You know, both of its front turrets on the front, so you just kind of bow in and you can take damage relatively well. But you know, if something here like you see me in Friesland, we're having to show side, and along with hello everybody, we're able to take out the enemy Yugumo. So enemy Yugumo is just in a really bad position. So we pop smoke up again. And now we have this Richelieu just outside of range. And so we were able to get some shots off onto him. The Implacable is definitely being a pain. And seeing that he's going to kind of fly past me, pop the AA back up again. And try to help defend our teammates. Even though we have a pretty good advantage in this battle. We've only lost 1 enemy ship so far. Enemy team has lost 6. They have no destroyers left. We still have 3 of ours, which is really nice. So with the Friesland, you do, I mean, on top of utilizing the smoke screen and the hydroacoustic search well, it also really helps to utilize islands, being able to move up because your concealment, you know, if I went up against the Yugumo has a, what, 5 point... Ooh, spacing what the Yugumo has. It's beneath 6, and we have 6.4. So when you get to utilize islands to kind of draw on the distance on enemy destroyers, it helps you have the advantage, especially, you know, with the DPM of the Friesland. As you can kind of see, we're just layering it on to this Richelieu, which is not happy with us at all. And continue to set fires. So we're up to 6 fires now. Yeah. And then we switch to the Petropavlovsk. So you can see in this center area of the map, we have a really good position in that the fact that we can fire on a lot of targets. You know, as soon as one goes away, it seems like there's another enemy target popping up. Now, you do have to be mindful of the enemy Petropavlovsk because of the 12-kilometer radar range. You can kind of see I've been moving a little bit further away to the side of the smoke screen, but as long as he's not popping the radar yet, we're going to just keep going for him. So you're going to see him and I have a bit of an interaction here in a moment when he does pop his radar. And 2 more fires. It's now up to 8, so you do have a relatively good fire starting chances with the Friesland. Like especially when you do not take IFHE. But we're going to repair, put that away, and now the goal is going to just be focusing on dodging incoming fire from the Petropavlovsk. Kind of make ourselves as small as target as possible. And we're still going to be detected because we were firing our guns. And we're going to hope to juke this salvo incoming and stop short. And we only take 1 shell with just over 1,200 left. So, because not having Concealment Expert, I'm at a disadvantage here because the Petropavlovsk is actually really close to detecting me. And typically, for myself, as a player, I don't like to play randoms or competition modes against other human players with destroyers unless I have a 10-point commander and having that Concealment Expert, just because you won't get the full potential out of your destroyer when you're not fully concealed. I mean, of course, you do have those gun builds, anti-concealment destroyer type destroyers that are set up for that. But Friesland, you know, you do need the concealment, I would argue. Now we'll continue to put damage or HE shells in on the Petropavlovsk, trying to focus in on that superstructure. Could switch to armor piercing here. I don't remember if I do, but the Petropavlovsk is so tanky. I'm not sure if I'll actually get the damage in instead of just going for fires right now, as I believe what was the mindset. And he's put that fire out too. And he's about to go down, so. And yep, set the other fire. And we're going to finish him off. So the Friesland, so there's a little bit of a taste. And really good credits too. I think I had a couple of special signals mounted for Commander XP as I was trying to boost that. So I'm going to do over 100,000 damage, 347 target hits, 1 destroyed, 11 set on fires in that match. You know, the longer you can keep your guns going, the better. 16 planes, 2 assisted captures. Topped the team with 2,886 base experience with hello everybody just behind me. So yeah, so you can see just, you know, between contesting the cap areas, taking the caps, focus on enemy destroyers, and just lighting up targets around us. Friesland's pretty formidable. Yeah, really strong. And potential damage, so you see that's over 700,000 looks like. And you can see we got a little taste of everyone there with the damage. And then what it looks like with premium count, and yeah, you can see some of the special signals I had. So don't be fooled to think that you can take this in without any special signals and get over 1 million credits like I did here. So like I said, tomorrow we'll be doing a upgrade and commander build video on the Friesland. I've had more battles than this in Friesland thus far, but I was originally wanting to wait a little longer before doing these 2 videos on the Friesland, but with it being soon taken out of World of Warships, I thought I would go ahead and share these videos with you and my thoughts and opinions on a good upgrade and commander build, but also some options you have there as well. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you have already subscribed, really appreciate it as we continue to grow the community here with you guys. And always feel free to join the FLT Discord community. Invite link in the description below. So until next time, take care.